So what happens when a father's love gets twisted and used against him, leaving his own daughters to face a world that seems just unbelievably cruel? While we're about to dive into a story where faith is tested by dark magic and the bonds of family are stretched to their absolute breaking point. It's a journey through some serious darkness for sure, but it's also a story where hope just refuses to die.
All right, so here's how this incredible story breaks down. We're going to follow it in 5 parts. We'll start in a happy home, then watch as it gets shattered by a widow's trickery. We'll follow the sisters into the forest, see their father face an impossible choice, and then, get this, we'll see how the next generation rises up to fight an even greater evil.
So let's set the scene. Meet Karam Din. He's a widower, and his entire world, his whole life, is his 3 daughters. Life is simple, it's happy. But the one you really need to keep an eye on is the youngest, Zainab. She's got this wisdom, this intuition that's way beyond her years. And believe me, she is going to need every last bit of it.
But that peace they have doesn't last long. A local widow starts showing up at their house, and she always has the same simple excuse. She just needs to borrow some fire. Now, on the surface, it seems totally harmless, right? But Zainab's gut is just screaming at her that this woman's intentions are anything but good.
Okay, the widow's plan here is just a masterclass in manipulation. First, she creates chaos. She secretly starts mixing ash into Karam Din's food. When he finally catches her, does she apologize? Nope. She plays innocent, claiming it was all just a test of his love for his daughters. And it's such a brilliant, cruel move. Karam Din, totally blinded by her charm and her fake concern, falls for it completely. He marries her, and just like that, he welcomes a predator right into his home.
And the second she's the lady of the house, bam, the mask comes right off. The new stepmother turns the 3 sisters into servants, forcing them to do all the hard work while her own daughter just lives a life of luxury. She starves them, she abuses them, and she turns their own home into a living prison.
The stepmother's cruelty literally pushes the sisters out of their own home and into the nearby forest just to survive. But this is where the story gets really interesting. As their human world becomes a total nightmare, the world of nature starts to respond in this almost magical way. This is where the cruelty starts getting met with miracles.
And right here, you see the central conflict playing out so clearly. For every awful thing the stepmother does, the forest provides a miracle. When she's starving them, a holy man guides them to a magical pomegranate tree that feeds them. When she takes that away, he literally creates a river of pure, life-giving milk for them. But the stepmother is just consumed by this jealousy. She's thinking, how are these girls still surviving out there? So she sends her own daughter to spy on them, and of course she discovers their secrets, and then she just systematically destroys each miracle. She fakes a horrible headache and convinces Karam Din that the only cure, the only one, is the root of that exact pomegranate tree. Then, after she finds out about the river of milk, she pays men to destroy it and the holy man's home too. So now all the miracles are gone, and the girls are weaker than ever. The stepmother sees her opening to finally get rid of them for good, and so she comes up with her most evil plan yet, forcing her husband into a position that is just unthinkable. She pretends to be on her deathbed. She claims a doctor has prescribed this gruesome, horrific cure. She tells Karam Din that the only thing that can save her life is the blood of his own 3 daughters.
I mean, can you imagine? Karam Din is just shattered. He can't kill his own children, but he's totally trapped by this evil woman. So he makes this desperate, heartbreaking choice. He leads his daughters deep into the forest, cooks them one last meal, and then, while they're sleeping, he runs away. He believes that at least this way, they'll be alive and finally free from their stepmother's cruelty.
The girls wake up completely alone and terrified. But just as all that despair is setting in, they're discovered by 3 young hunters. And when they hear their tragic story, the men are just so moved with pity and compassion. They decide to marry the sisters, offering them the safety and the love they've lost. And Zainab, she marries their leader, a man named Nasir.
So for a little while, things are finally peaceful. The sisters are happy in their new homes, and Zainab and Nasir even have a son. But you know this story is far from over. A new and way more powerful evil is about to enter the picture.
One day, Nasir goes out hunting, and he just doesn't come back. His 2 friends go out to search for him, and they too disappear completely without a trace. And just like that, the sisters are alone again, their newfound happiness totally shattered.
Shortly after, a beggar wearing green robes shows up at Zainab's door. But this is no beggar. It's a powerful magician in disguise. He demands that Zainab abandon her son and marry him. When she flat out refuses, he flies into a rage, and with a terrible curse, he turns her into a dog and drags her away to his fortress.
And get this, 14 long years pass. Zainab's son, raised by his loving aunts, grows into a strong young man, totally unaware of what happened to his parents. But the past can't stay buried forever, and the day finally comes when his aunts tell him the entire tragic truth.
Filled with this incredible sense of duty and love, the boy immediately sets out on a quest. He doesn't hesitate for a second. He vows he's going to find his parents and undo the evil that has haunted his family for so long.
His journey takes him to this strange, desolate land that's just filled with stone statues. And there he runs into the very same holy man who helped his mother all those years ago. The old man warns him, "This is the magician's land, and all these statues you see, they were once men who defied him."
The holy man agrees to help. He comes up with a plan, and the key to the whole thing is a special ring. It was a wedding gift from Nasir to Zainab, which she later gave to her infant son. This ring is the only way he can prove to his mother who he is. The son plays his part perfectly. He poses as this harmless, religious kid, and the magician is completely fooled. He even asks the boy to bring daily flowers to his most prized captive, who is, of course, Zainab. So in this incredibly daring moment, when the guards are away, the son hides the ring in the bouquet. As he presents it to his mother, her eyes fall on it, and she knows. After 14 years of being a prisoner, she finally has proof she hasn't been forgotten. Mother and son are finally reunited.
So now they're united, and they have a plan. Zainab cleverly tricks the magician into revealing his one big weakness. His life force is tied to a parrot that's hidden deep in the forest. Her son goes on one last dangerous journey, captures the bird, and comes back for the final showdown. Holding the magician's life in his hands, he forces him to release every single prisoner, including his own father. Then, with methodical precision, he breaks the parrot's wings, crippling the magician, before wringing its neck and ending his reign of terror for good.
With the magician defeated, all the curses are broken. The stone statues turn back into people. Zainab is restored to her human form. The entire family is brought back together in this huge, tearful reunion. They even find their father, Karam Din, who is just overjoyed to see them alive. And he tells them that their cruel stepmother had died long ago from a terrible disease.
So when you look back, the journey for each character is this really clear arc, from being persecuted to finding victory. The villains get what's coming to them, while the heroes, through their own strength and the courage of the next generation, finally find their way back to peace and happiness.
And that's really the question this whole story leaves us with, isn't it? Where did their true strength come from? Was it the divine intervention, the magical pomegranates and rivers of milk? Or was it just pure human resilience, that unbreakable will to survive and fight for each other? Maybe the real miracle is found somewhere in between.